Sip with Joy, a show about a girl, her wine, and her feelings. And I am that girl. I am your host, Joy M. Hutton, serial entrepreneur and lover of food and wine. And speaking of wine, you know I got my wine for today. And so I am drinking. Oh, that's not it. I'm not drinking a Chenin Blanc. I am actually drinking a Rioja. Sorry, I don't have the graphic up today. It's been a long day. It's been a Monday for the books. So I'm going to take a drink. Hopefully, you all are sipping on something as well on this Monday. Hey, walking into her. Um, mhm. I need my sip, okay? So, yeah, guys, I'm thinking about taking the summer off from Sip with Joy. I don't know. You all have to let me know. Will you watch in the summer? Because I know y'all going to be outside. And I don't want to put in all this work and y'all ain't going to be watching the podcast or listening to the podcast. So you all let me know if I should continue during the summer, because I will show up for you as long as you guys show up for me. So if you want me to continue episodes during the summer, you know I'll be taking a break after this season is complete, but then I'll be back after June. And so then after the 4th of July, I'll be back. So just let me know if I should continue throughout the summer or if y'all gonna be outside, like I said. And then, I'll continue to show up. My mom said continue. Of course, she's my number one fan. Hey, mommy. So today's episode is titled Fool Me Once. Hey, LC. And I will be discussing deception in romantic relationships and friendships, and how many chances should you really give someone, because I told y'all how I'm just out here giving people the benefit of the doubt, but really they don't deserve it. And so I'm sure we've all heard the Maya Angelou quote: the first time someone shows you who they are, believe them. And how many times have I wanted to kick my own ass because I was not hearing Maya's voice in the back of my head? But I've learned some hard lessons, and everyone does not deserve the benefit of the doubt or a second chance. So we're gonna talk about that today. Hey, L Hamilton. Okay, so y'all gonna listen over the summer. Okay, I'm gonna take my little 4 week break, 4 or 5 week break, and I'll be back in July. So next week is the season finale. So stay tuned for that. Hey, Tina. She's walking into her said, "Listen, everyone needs a break, but I would love for you to continue either way." Oh, thank you so much. I love y'all. I love when you show up. That makes me so happy because sometimes I told you I want to kick this podcast behind sometimes, especially with the technical issues, but I think I'm getting closer, guys. Look, I'm gonna figure this audio thing out. When it's me, we're good. When I bring in a guest, then the devil wants to play with me, but I think I'm close. I think I almost have this thing figured out. So, but yeah, so when it comes to someone playing you for a fool, you have to ask yourself, why are you allowing them to do this, and why are you excusing their behavior? And from the dating perspective, because I said I was going to talk about romantic and friendships, but from a dating perspective, I've dated men and know their behavior was inconsistent, knew they were not aligned with who I was. They did things that were unacceptable. And I really had to do some soul searching and ask myself why I tolerated this foolishness. Because why Gina? So I really had to dig deep within and figure out, like, why am I allowing these shenanigans into my life? Because you have in dating, people will ghost you, they lie, they may talk to you crazy, they may cheat, and they still get another chance. And again, why are we allowing this foolishness? So hey, y'all. Hey, Tiffany. Okay, I had to stop because I see some of my peeps in the chat. Okay, so you know, thinking about like the things that people do now, there are non-negotiables for me. Like there are some things that I'm just not going to forgive, and yeah, it's a no for me, dog. But and you know, and with friendships, it really gets tricky because you think someone is around, and you think they're around for the right reasons, and then you find out that they've been jealous of you the whole time, or they simply wanted to be around you for what you could do for them, or maybe because of who you're affiliated with. And you know, it's even harder to walk away when you have years invested, but your peace of mind and your heart are the most important, so you got to protect yourself. But I have said this time and time again that on Sip with Joy, for those of you who are loyal listeners, that we have to set boundaries, and our intuition will kick in whether we listen to it or not, because I know mine does. And every time it's like I'm always mad at myself because it's like, Joy, you knew you had no business going back with this guy. Like, and I usually don't go backwards. Like once it's done, it's done. But there are times where I'm like, okay, was the offense that bad? Maybe I can forgive this person. But then I set myself up for the same issue, because maybe that person has not changed and they're just selling me on the same BS, the same lies as they were telling before and what have you. And so, but again, it's about setting boundaries and listening to your intuition, because you know when something's off. It's just, again, it's a matter of you choose to ignore it, because we be out here ignoring those red flags. My mama said, protect your peace. Walking into her said, boundaries are so important. Absolutely. And like I said, walking away from a friendship is even harder, I think, because you know you expect loyalty from a friend. Relationships, people come and go, but walking away from even a friendship and a relationship, it doesn't mean that you failed. It means that you are honoring yourself and creating a healthy space. Okay, so again, why do we give people more chances in the first place? Because we've heard the I promise I'll change. You're the only one I'm seeing. It only happened once. It's not what it looks like. Uh, what's another one? I would never do anything to hurt you. That one is the worst one to me, because I feel like whenever a person says that to me, you the main one that's gonna hurt me. You setting me up for the okey doke. And so I feel like that one right there, if anyone ever says that to you, just prepare yourself, okay? Because they lying. And you know what are some other ones? Y'all drop them in the chat. You're imagining things, you know, they try to make you seem like you the crazy one. I'm not like other people. That's another one, because when you say you not like other people, you just like them. So that's another one. I would never lie to you. People always talking about what they never gonna do. Just show me rather than tell me. That's what I want you to do. It won't happen again. You're blowing things out of proportion, and people will gaslight you. They will withhold information. I love when people say, I didn't lie to you, I withheld information. No, you lied. A lie is a lie. They make excuses for their behavior, or they become overly defensive when you question them. And I realize too, like whenever I'm in a relationship and when I'm making excuses for someone, that is my telltale right there that I need to exit stage left, because I'm having to make excuses for them with my family, my friends. Like, oh no, he just did that one time. It was an isolated incident. And they be looking at me upside my head like I'm crazy. Like, okay, girl, we support you. Whatever you do, that's fine. Um, Tiffany said that was me when I met you during the pandemic. Met you during the pandemic. 30 years of friendship over. I always poured into her and never into me. Absolutely. LC said I ended a 40-year friendship because of the disrespect. I put up with the foolerment for too long. I love that. Yes, we stay way too long and we give people the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes you just have to walk away. Okay. Walking into her said, I'm dealing with that right now. Friendship is one side I have decided to let go. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to protect your peace out here in these streets. Okay. We have one life to live, and I'm not about to let somebody drain my energy. Okay. So yeah, things that people say. So again, why do we give them chances? Why do we give these type of people chances? And so again, like I said, with when I think about why I've given people chances, it could be a number of things. It could be we're hoping they will change, holding on to that potential, like some of your grandmothers say, you can't marry potential, and that's in friendships too. Like, potential is not going to get you very far. You need to be who you say you're going to be, and we also need to see people for who they really are, not for who we want them to be. Because, see, the bamboozlement happens, people, okay? The bamboozlements happen, all right? We want to see people for who we want them to be. We cannot force people into our box. We may have an emotional attachment to that person, which, emotional attachments are hard to break. And usually it is hard to let go of somebody when there are emotions involved. When it's not emotions involved, it's obvious. It's usually a clean break. But when you have emotions involved, especially if it's physical, it's harder to walk away from that person. We fear being alone or losing the relationship. And maybe some people feel like they can't do better. But girl or guy, you can. You can do better. I believe in you. Um, and then sometimes we want to be optimistic and forgiving. I love Jesus. I'm a good woman. I love to forgive people. But you can forgive and move on. You don't have to stay in that toxic situation. But a lot of the times we want to be positive and want to be optimistic and make an effort to move past that hurt. And sometimes you can. I'm not saying you can't. We can definitely forgive, but we have to think about, again, is it worth it? Are you setting yourself up for failure again? Um, and then other times we may feel guilty and think that we had something to do with that person's actions. Like, I hear a lot of women blaming themselves, or even men, when their mate cheats on them, and they're like, yeah, I should have done this, I should have done that. But that person also should have communicated with you about their needs not being met before they went and decided to cheat. So I don't, yeah, and y'all know that's a whole nother episode. I think I've actually done an episode on cheating. But yeah, it's like we cannot blame ourselves for other people's actions. We got to stop that. All right. And then sometimes the other person has manipulated you and they've regained your trust so that you will, again, forgive them, give them another chance. This is a big offense too, because there's some real sneaky son of a guns out there that make you feel bad, like, like, and it's the baby I'm sorry times 100. I'm sorry, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, begging. It's that. And it's the promise to change, and playing on your emotions, especially when you a sap and they know you a sap and they know you're forgiving, and you just, you want to give them a chance. They play on that and they prey on that. Okay, so be careful. Y'all who have real sensitive hearts and y'all are soft, people will prey on that, okay? Um, let's see. So forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Exactly, Tiffany. Elsie said, I think it's hard sometimes when you have been around the person for years, you don't want to seem mean. Yeah, it is. But Adele said, deuces. Right. Exactly. You got to go. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, Tiffany said, way too long, Mama Hutton. It was extremely painful, and this was after my father passed. Yeah, she wasn't even there for me. Nope. Mm-mm. Yeah, you gotta cut people at the knees, y'all. Okay, we are in 2024, and we are committed to doing better. This episode is a good segue into next week because I'll be talking about let go and let God, okay? Because we just got to move on out of our own way, and we got to move other people out of our way that are not good for us either, okay? So we got to keep it moving. But ultimately, deciding to give someone another chance is up to you. Because you want to do it out of the goodness out of your heart, but you have to consider one, what they did, how bad was it, okay, and was there any accountability or remorse? Because if you don't even feel sorry, like, I can't even talk to you. Like, this is a problem. We cannot have a conversation if you don't even understand what you did and you're not sorry about what you did. Deuces. So, and then three, is there a pattern of this behavior? Now it's like, fool me once, okay, fool me twice, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, okay? Like, I'm only going to keep giving you chances. um I'm not gonna keep giving you chances if you just keep burning that bridge. Like, you're not just gonna keep walking all over me. Not happening. And then you have to also reflect on how they made you feel with what they did, and what do you really need out of a relationship, whether that's a friendship, personal, professional, whatever. What do you really need? And then, can you forgive the person and trust them again? Because if you cannot, it's time to go. And I know it's painful, again, when there are years invested, and even when you are married, you have to decide, is it worth it? Is it worth my peace of mind? And if the answer is no, then it's time to go. And I know it takes a lot to build up the courage to leave a toxic situation, because that person got a hold on you, they got a hold on your emotions. And again, you have to ask yourself any of those questions. What are the reasons why you would give this person a chance? All right. Speaking of someone who can't be trusted, the what the sip is Anita Baker. Y'all, I love Anita Baker, but she is out here doing the people wrong. Anita Baker canceled a concert on Mother's Day in Atlanta. I'm surprised they didn't find that lady. In Atlanta on Mother's Day, before it started, like shortly before it started, people were already there with no explanation. She still has not come out with an explanation and said why why she canceled that concert. Like, that's just wrong. You better be in the hospital somewhere, Anita, because you are wrong. It's just wrong. And how many times are we gonna forgive Anita, y'all? How many times? Because y'all forgave Lauryn Hill. Some people may not have forgiven Lauryn Hill. Because how many times are you gonna show up late before I keep going to your concerts? It's not gonna happen. So Anita is out here acting the fool again, and yeah, and somebody said, "Oh, yeah, she did that, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt." See, and this is where we get into trouble, giving people that don't deserve the benefit of the benefit of the doubt. Like, we can't do it. As Tina said, these apologies are just words. Someone once asked me, "How do you know it's just words?" Because I heard it 100 times and no change in behavior. See, and this applies to Anita, right? Because Anita is unapologetic. She don't care. Uh, my mom said, I think Anita got some issues. She definitely does, and we're gonna pray for her. Okay, but we do not have to continue to put up with this punishment. They definitely should have gotten their money back. Yeah. So it's just Bradley said had to learn the hard way. Yeah, you got to, you need to cut it. So yeah. Anita's out here acting up, but like I said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I will not. Like, listen, the older I get, the more I'm just not with the shit. I'm just not with it. I have a very low tolerance for shenanigans because my time, you don't know. You could be here today, gone today. And I'm not playing with these people. So you have to consider the things that I said before, like if people are worth your time. And like, I told y'all I'm out here in these dating streets, and it's just, yeah, I'm just not doing the shenanigans. Like, you showed me already who you are, and I'm just not. Cut. So, we're going to talk about Let Go and Let God. We have a special guest next week on the season finale. So, yeah, I want to go out with a bang because I think it was a previous season where where I talked about surrender, and you always hear people say let go and let God, but what does that mean, Jesus? Because I get some parts of it, but we gonna bring in somebody that can really tell us to it. He gonna give it to us real, okay? So I can't wait for next week's episode, and then I take a little break, and then y'all told me y'all want me to come back for the summer, so I will. And yeah, it's going to be a good episode next week. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you tell your friends, tell your mama. And I hope you all had a beautiful Mother's Day. Last week's episode, I had some DMs with last week's episode with women saying the episode was right on time in terms of talking about fertility and whatnot, because there are women who are struggling, to have children and want to be mothers, and then you got people out here having babies and not, they just make you mad because it's like you want a baby and then you got people out here acting a fool. And so I hope everyone had a beautiful Mother's Day. Mothers in heaven, mothers, who have lost children, and all the beautiful women out there. So we're gonna talk about Lego and Let God, y'all. So I will see you all back here next week, and set them boundaries, y'all. Don't let these people fool you. See you next week. Bye.